LSU Nicholls tonight, 6 o'clock, first pitch from Didier Field. By the way, game is on CST, so it follows us here on AFR. So as soon as we go off air on CST, you can watch the LSU Nicholls baseball game. If you need a place to watch, if you don't have CST, of course, you can get by either Plucker's location, Nicholson or Bluebonnet, dine in or carry out. You like our wings, we'll give you the bird. Seth Thibodeaux, he'll be in the home dugout tonight against the LSU Tigers. He's been a friend of the show for a long time. We appreciate his time on game day. Coach, how are you, man? Thanks for the time.
It's going, man. I'm good, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Always, man. I was prepping for this, and I went, holy crap, you've been there 10 years. Does it does it feel like you've been there 10? Well, you've been there longer than 10 years, but head coach for 10 years?
Yeah, sometimes no. And I think that's just my heart saying I'm not getting old, or I am getting old. I'm not sure. But
right.
No, it's been an awesome decade. I honestly can't believe it. I appreciate that opportunity very much. But no, it's at times it's like I feel like I just started coaching, and so I got to pinch myself every once in a while. It has flown by. I can't believe it. And but it's been a great 10 years, and it's a huge part of my life, and I'm very appreciative of it.
This is a pretty big opportunity. We'll get into the game tonight in just a second, but I want to talk a little bit more about your team. I know you return a bunch of guys on this team with 11 seniors. How much is that experience helped in the 3 weeks leading up to the season as you push off from the dock right here?
It's awesome to have them because they're a little easier to coach and we can do more and push more. The tough part is a lot of these returners were out last year and really didn't get to practice in the fall. So they've missed a lot of baseball because they were coming off. I have 3 guys coming off their shoulder surgery from last year that are in the lineup tonight. So, that they're still some of these guys like my leadoff hitter Zane Washington starting in center field. He missed the entire season with a labrum surgery, and missed pretty much the entire fall. He couldn't really throw a baseball 100% yet. So this is his first 3 games of the season we just played, and he's going into game 4. So he's still coming. These guys are still coming a little bit, and as the season goes, we're going to be pretty good because we got some good athletes, some good players. But it's a treat to be able to coach guys that have been in the program for 3 or 4 years because they have a little bit different maturity to them.
What did you learn? If you had the 3-game round robin this weekend, what did you learn about your team?
That we didn't finish the job. I learned that we showed signs of being really good defensively. We showed signs of being able to really pitch it. But we didn't show signs, our consistency level of hey, when we have a lead in the 9th or the 8th, closing the door, we didn't show that consistency for 9 innings. And that's what we're really trying to focus on. We lacked a little grit and some winning moments. And so that's what the focus is tonight, is to just try to win the grit war and fight through some tough moments and get a big clutch 2-out hit or, get a big bunt down or make a clutch pitch, turn a big double play, get a good relay throw in, those things. I just want to see us play clean baseball for 9 innings and play gritty because that's really what we are.
Yeah, I probably should ask this as we start. It's been awful weather around here today. I don't mean for you to play meteorologist or anything, but how's it look down there for the night?
It was actually, sun was out pretty much all afternoon, and it's warm. I'll tell you that. The sun was shining bright on the bayou today. I'm
laughing because I was looking today, the forecast for the weekend. On Friday, the low is like 33.
Well, we were just getting some work in on the field, and I was sweating bullets in my shorts, so I can't believe it's going to switch like this. We get all the seasons in January and February.
Isn't it crazy? It's like we'll never attend a football game as cold as we will baseball games in February in this state. It's bonkers. Seth Thibodeaux is our guest. He's on Twitter at @Coach_Tib. 10 years as the Nicholls head baseball coach. Who's going to get the ball for you tonight?
Tyler Terrio, a sophomore left-handed pitcher from Bruley High School.
Why are you going to throw a lefty against LSU? Come on, man. What are you doing?
That's the thing you do on midweek when you face LSU. You throw a lefty at them. I've been watching it since I was 5 years old. So why not keep trying it, right? No, he's always going to be. We were fighting to make him a starter. He's been a reliever his whole career. We're trying to get him to be a starter, and he's got a chance to be a pretty good one. So we're going to try to get him a couple innings tonight and turn it over to the bullpen.
What about Eric Walker's going to get the ball for LSU? Does it in any way – I don't know how much you scout going into a midweek, but does it help the fact that you're going to face a guy that, man, there's a lot of film and a giant book on him?
Yeah, it absolutely does. We can type it in and pull up a lot of video of him. And he's a tough arm, man. He's had a long career with some ups and downs. Poor fellow with some injury, but I know he's still really good, and he can do some things, make that baseball dance a little bit. So we're able to see some things. It helps a lot. We have a synergy system where we're able to see some pitchers throw in certain counts, and so we're able to see some things on him, and I look forward to the challenge.
You all played LSU last year in Baton Rouge, and you had a lead in the ninth inning. And ultimately, LSU rallied and wound up winning the game in extras. So does that linger going into this year's game?
I think last year with a younger squad, we went through that a little bit more than you'd like to. With young guys just not knowing how to close the door. And we kind of repeated that a little bit this weekend. So the head coach is kind of making sure that we're hitting on all cylinders and making sure I'm doing my part too. But it does linger. It was, it's been part of the off season and everything that we worked for to be able to finish out games and close out games. So we were also able to see those guys in the fall game here in Thibodeaux as well. And one of which both teams had two totally different, it was a practice. It was a glorified practice is what it was. So, but yes, it does. You think about it a lot and how can you be better there, because some of these games, a certain pitch maybe in that game can completely change your season. So you got to be, smarter and more mature. And I think we are with our returners. We just haven't shown it yet. And we're not hot right now, but it's February. And I know that this team's got a chance to be pretty dang good.
What would we were talking about this before you came on, but what would for this team, I don't mean like the program as a whole, but just practically speaking, if you're thinking, postseason play, what would a midweek win in February against LSU do for your resume?
2015, we beat LSU the fourth game of the season. And we went on to sweep Utah, who won the Pac-12. We went on to sweep Tulane and ULF. They had both conference champions and top 10 teams that year. And came out second in our league that year and made a good run. Didn't finish right in the conference tournament, but we were up in the the RPI all year long. And it does. It can do a lot. It can absolutely do it. You try not to build it up too much, but it is an in-state opponent. It is the flagship school, and you want to make sure you take care of business at your house. So it's hunger. And look, we all from South Louisiana, we have a football mentality where things are built up big, and that's what's awesome about our state. Baseball games are built up. It's not like this. If someone's in Illinois today, they're not worried about Illinois facing Southern Illinois. It's not a big deal. But when Nicholls plays LSU, it's a sellout, and there's people tailgating at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's awesome. It's amazing. We're so fortunate to be in this. This state is incredible. So you just try not to build it up too much with your kids, and you try to make sure that they understand. But it would be big. The hardest part is I remember after that win in 15, for about 48 hours after that game, I was literally working my tail off to get them off of that high chair and make sure they understand, hey, we got another game coming up.
Yeah.
And so, because one big win can lead to a couple of losses, but we did a pretty good job over that year. So I've already been thinking about that for sure, and it can do a lot. Any win. Look, I want to go 40. If I was 56-0, but I know that there's going to be some losses. But you got to have some wins in there. You got to do it. Our program has lost a little bit of grit the last few years, and it's been bothering me quite a bit. And winning these games was big because we've beaten Tulane's and LSU's and UL's and Southern Miss's, Mississippi State's. We've done all that in midweek. But we got to do it again. We got to get it back. And I told our team last night, it's your responsibility to restore that order. And so we're looking at it that way, and we're going out and trying to win the grit war tonight for sure.
I got two more things for you. Seth Thibodeaux is our guest. Time very much appreciated on game day. One, mentioned the game sold out tonight. For those that maybe don't understand the concept of this, how big is it for the program to have LSU play at Didier Field tonight?
I think it's awesome because you don't get this in other sports. You don't get this in football. You don't get this in basketball. You don't really get to experience it. That's what baseball is amazing, and I think it's special. I think it's awesome. We get to show our facility. I mean, in 10 years, our ballpark has gone from not a whole lot to look at to a pretty special place to play, and it's fun. And it holds 2,000 people, but to me, that's 10,000 people because it's a good village. It's an awesome village. Thibodeaux's a neat place, and they take pride in that end with a sword. And I love it, and we want to represent it for them because these people are just take care of this community, but they take care of this university like it's their own, and it's special. And so it's a prideful thing, and I'm proud to display that on TV. I'm very, very tickled and fortunate to be the head coach to be able to do that. We don't get to do this forever. And so there's only 299 jobs like mine in the world,
Yep.
And so I'm going to make sure that mine is special, and I'm appreciative of it. And nothing would be more special than taking care of business tonight, but knowing that we want to do it all. Our players have a goal this year of being the best team in the state. So here's our first matchup, and we want to make sure that we're ready for it.
I really should end it there, but I got to ask one more. You and I talk about this every time you come on. The way the ballpark plays, because it's positioned with the wind, can be kind of funny. How is the park playing? How is it going to play tonight?
We may get a little small shower right at game time, we have a turf infill, which can make things faster, and you can slide past the bag. The baseball is going to run faster through a turf field when it's wet. So the wind is a swirling wind. Obviously, when you look to our center field wall, we're facing the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
So you're going to get a south wind at times. Sometimes you're going to get a west wind, which would go from, I always say, because I'm a weatherman here, from New Orleans to Morgan City,
Right.
which means from left to right.
Right.
So that you're going to see a wind blowing in, you're going to see a wind blowing from left to right. You're going to see potential homers, maybe not. It might be turning into outs, and then it's crazy because in the sixth inning that might be a homer. You got to learn how to play the wind here, and we certainly want to make sure that's on our side. But it can be a factor. It can definitely be a factor because you can pitch with the wind, and you can play offense with the wind. So we hope that our guys know the park better than our opponent tonight for sure.
Seth Thibodeaux, head coach of the Nicholls Colonels, 10 years there at Harvard on the Bayou. And we appreciate 10 years as the head coach, I should say. We appreciate the time as always, man. Good luck.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on.
You got it, man. Anytime. That's Seth Thibodeaux on Twitter at Coach_Tib.